Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. Today I have the lovely Amanda Outram on, who is going to be talking about public speaking and how you can use that to really boost your authority in your industry and gain way more visibility to position yourself as a leader. So Amanda, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm just so excited. It's like one of my top podcasts in my list. I listen to this one all the time. Can't believe I'm now on it. This is
Oh, I love
great.
that. I love it. I love it. So, talking for boosting our visibility, obviously, it's one of those things that a lot of us hear about. They hear about public speaking, they hear about you can get paid to speak or do it for your visibility boosting or however it is. But what is it about speaking that can really help you to sort of scale your business as an authority?
Do you know there's a few things? First of all, when you think about why people usually want to speak, yes, it's authority and visibility, but also bringing in opportunities, clients. That's the main reason. That's what underpins everything that we do in terms of driving visibility and being known for the expert. But speaking does that in such a powerful way because the oldest saying in the book, and still the most true, is people buy from people they like. And we all hear the know, like, trust a lot. It's something that we all learn very quickly when we come into business is something that we need.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing like the connection that you get when you're like live with an audience, be that online or in person. It's like doing 100 discovery calls in one go because do you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
there, you're speaking to them. They get to see your personality, what you're about. People always have a laugh with me because I'm all about the lols. You think you
Yeah.
particularly liked my reel that I
I
put out
did. That
yesterday.
literally made me spit out my coffee. But I think that's part of your personal brand, isn't it? And I think
It
this
is,
is what's so
yeah.
important. And a lot of people overthink when it comes to speaking because they think they
Yeah,
need to have a perfectly polished presentation that they know word for word, that they've rehearsed, and almost like a performance. And I guess speaking is a version of like some kind of performance, isn't it? But
yeah, yeah,
it's being authentic to who you are and how you show up and
yeah.
how you are
It's
in real
just,
life.
yeah, it's just fast tracking people getting to know you and building relationships. Like, 30 minutes on the stage is worth months of like clips on reels and stories in Instagram. It's like people can, and I know you are into like energy work. I know that's a big part of what you talk about, and I love that about you. But people can feel that energy and whether you're the right person for them, because not everybody's going to get on with everybody. Like
Yeah.
it's just you're just not. You can't go out and try and appeal to everybody. But if you just go out there and be yourself, you will appeal to the right people and you'll attract clients that you're really going to get on with and love working with. It's just mega for connection. And you're right, people really do overthink it,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
overthink it.
I think it's almost
Um,
overthinking to a point of talking yourself out of it, isn't it? It's actually taking that
yeah,
plunge and doing it.
yeah, yeah. And people think, oh, I'm not good enough to speak on stages yet. I'm not there yet. Like, what do you mean? You've started a business, you've got a passion, you put yourself out there
Yeah.
by starting a business, so you are ready to go out and talk about it. Like, just go out there and just be you. There is some preparation that goes into it, of course, and some planning. And I do recommend that some people rehearse, but only because it makes it more fluid and natural and it's more engaged. There's nothing worse than talking from a set of slides
Yeah.
filled with text. And we all know that from school not to do
Yeah.
that, but there's good reason for that because it kind of drains your personality because you're so busy reading from the slides and what you've prepped. Whereas if you've rehearsed a bit, so that talk is ingrained in you, and you generally know the flow, your personality can just bubble out and over and in because you're more relaxed and you know what's coming.
Yeah.
So there is a
It's so
place for that,
true.
but not rehearsing a script, like absolutely not, because that
Yeah. And
has
I
the
think
opposite
like when
effect.
I'm thinking back to my own experiences of being at events and networking and watching masterclasses, the ones that get my attention span is very minimal. I remember being at school
Mm,
where the teacher would be talking and I would be switched off after 5 seconds if it didn't interest me. And
mm,
yet the speaker sessions that I have personally watched, I've engaged with, whether it's been 20 minutes or 2 hours, and I've literally been listening to every word, have been the ones where they engage the audience. Like they ask questions, they get you involved, and it
yeah,
becomes
yeah.
a much more interactive speaker session, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's my motto is build conversations, not presentations. Nobody
Yes.
wants to sit through a lecture. That's not what they've come for. They want an experience. So that engagement is absolutely critical for the bit I mentioned at the start, which is people getting to know you. And that's what I teach people because people know they need to drive interaction and engagement. They're just not always quite sure how to achieve that. So that's a lot of the work I do is helping people build in those points of interaction, but
Yeah.
meaningful, not just asking a question for the sake of asking a question.
Yeah. It's got to be
Because you
relevant,
get,
hasn't it?
yeah, like, because you do, I've seen people do that as well. So, yeah, there needs to be like a point to it because you're taking people on a journey and you're changing their perspective on something in some way that wows them or they think, oh my God, yes, and that's how you become memorable. But it's such a powerful tool, and I really wish people would be braver to just go out there and, if they've got a bit of a sarcastic personality, bring that out. Like, don't hide any part of you because those are the magnetic bits that people are gonna cling on to and like be wanting to talk to you when you get off stage. Do you know?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. And I think people
yeah,
get in their heads, don't they, that speaking means speaking on stage in front of hundreds of people, but you don't you don't have to start big,
no,
start small.
no,
Your audience could be
no.
3 people, like literally.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got asked recently to talk at a local networking event. So you only stood up in front of maybe 8 people. It's like a really good place to start.
Yeah.
But yeah, just start small, and the confidence will come. I wasn't always confident on stages when I was in school. If I got asked to answer a question out loud in front of the class, I'd go bright red
Yeah.
and,
Same.
and feel sick. Like it was honest to God. And I'd sit there almost already partially red, just like so anxious that I was going to be asked to talk. So then, of course, when my name was shouted, my face would just go poof, like before
You're
before
like,
I
they're
even
gonna
had
pick
said
me, they're gonna
anything.
pick me.
Yeah, awful. I used to have real anxiety about it, and particular classes where I knew it would happen, I'd be so anxious going in. So nobody's like born a TED Talks speaker,
Yeah.
nobody arrives from the womb with a mic in their mouth, like ready to go.
I
Like it
think it's
just is.
also it's finding your way of doing it, isn't it? So like
Yeah.
you bring your sense of humor and your comedy into when you
Mm,
speak. Like even when I see your content, like it's just you. Like everything shows
yeah.
you.
All for the
And I
lols.
yeah, all the lols. But like I know a piece of content when I've come across it because it's made me laugh and I'm like, that's probably going to be Amanda's post that I've just seen. But that's part of your brand. And I think so many people overthink in terms of, okay, if I'm doing a speaker session or a talk, it has to be professional and it needs to be like this. They need to get all of this value and I need to be showing up as my
Mm,
most sort of professional self. But actually, you just show up as who you are, as the real person
yeah,
and who
absolutely.
you would be if you were working with those clients.
Yeah, 100%. And some people, it might be that they're like massively empathetic and they're really sensitive and they're feeling. And so that would need to come through. There are
Yeah.
people who are super gentle and really approachable. But that's important as well because people will be looking for those people to work with. Like you do look to match personalities when you're looking for coaches, that you need help from. Personality is a huge part of whether you can work with somebody or not.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, and equally, you don't want to attract people that maybe you're not going to get on with and enjoy working with by being someone who you're not on stage.
Yeah.
It's better just to get it all out there and
Yeah,
just,
definitely.
yeah,
It's being confident in your own unique way, isn't it? And I talked about this
yeah,
earlier actually on social media because I think people think of confidence as being the loudest person in the room, the person that's
mm,
wearing the most vibrant outfit or the most outrageous outfit, when actually like confidence comes on so many different frequencies and levels. You could be really calm, reserved, but be very confident in how you help your clients, in what you talk about. You can show your passion in different ways. It's not all about
mm,
the bubbliness, the arms, and like interactive kind of thing. It's about you. People feel your confidence, don't they, and how you
They
deliver.
do. Yeah, 100%. And I've coached people who humor and comedy isn't their thing, and we're talking about like the hook and the opener, but it could be like a really powerful story from their life that's a hook, and it might be a bit emotional, but that's them, that's their life, that's what they've been through. It's not always bounding onto stage like I've done with coffee all down my dress because I spilt it all over me on the way there. True story.
Oh no.
Yeah, first ever big corporate event that I spoke at work. But actually, it was a huge turning point in my speaker confidence because I stood up and I faced a certain way so they couldn't see the stain. And one of the like strap lines of the conference was about turning left, not right. So I said my little spiel and then I turned to the left and said, and then pointed at my dress, and everybody just roared with laughter because it wasn't just a spill. Starbucks mugs, the
Yeah.
coffees are available. The cup had got a bit soft and crushed in my hand and gushed down my,
Oh
you'll
no.
see the blue and white pinstripe dress that's a lot of my branding photos. And actually, it completely took my nerves away because we all laughed together. It's such a huge release of nervous energy. And so, like,
Yeah.
banter throughout my talks has been my thing ever since because that's what feeds my confidence is the audience laughing with me. Yeah, you'll find your way of creating that.
Yeah. And like you say, even that emotional connection. So I've watched some of the most engaging talks I've personally seen have been ones where people are actually sharing about past traumas they've had. And it might
Mm,
be totally irrelevant to what they do, but they've connected in a way that's almost, in fact, I have actually witnessed people that have been brought to tears delivering their speaker session,
mm,
and everybody claps, cheers them on, is there to
mm.
support and encourage. So it's however you deliver, whatever you're talking about, like how you are as your own authentic self, you're only going to get gratitude and appreciation from your audience that you're speaking to, aren't you?
Yeah, and an emotion is an emotion regardless of what it is. But that's
Yeah.
what people want to feel. If you think when you go to watch a movie, I'm not saying you've got to put on a movie performance, but you know what I mean? The best films are the ones that make you feel like every emotion. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you've got to stick every emotion into your talk, but whether it is humor, whether it is like anger about a shared view on something, or whether it is a little bit of sadness, it's still an emotional response. And again, that's another thing I talk about a lot with my clients is the feel. What do you want your audience to feel? There's always like a common emotion that will run through your talk because
Yeah.
it all adds to the experience and that memorability. But yeah, it's so important to evoke an emotion of some kind.
Yeah. How did you get into speaking? Tell us a bit about your journey, how you got to where you are now.
Well, I actually started out more in a science-based pathway. I did biomedical science at uni, nothing to do with what I do now. And I think my career in speaking and communication started because I went into a sales career. So I became a sales rep after uni. Long story short, because I wanted to stay in the area and there weren't jobs in the science career that I'd gone for. Um, and that's where it started because that's your first is like one-to-one. It
Yeah.
can be scary enough, and then maybe small audiences presenting a product. Then I changed to a different company where it was a different dynamic and more commercial, and I really flourished in my selling skills. So I got asked to apply for a job as a training manager. So that's where the bigger audiences came in because then I had to stand up in front of groups of people to do particular training programs, then the big sales conferences that corporates have,
Yeah.
so you're on a stage with lights and a backing. I've had walk-on music and everything. So it was never like purposeful. And then when I started my business, my plan was to teach people to build their own training programs because that was my expertise. It made sense. But actually, when I've had interactions with clients, I spend all my time building their confidence in the value they bring. It's not actually so much the core structure that they struggle with or what to put in. It's more, God, but I think it's imposter syndrome
Yeah.
creeps
It's
in.
the who
Like,
am I, isn't it?
yeah, who do I think I am? Like, people know this already. I'm not bringing anything special. I'm nothing, I can't bring anything to the table. And those are it's more that
Yeah.
that I end up talking to people about. So hence the shift to public speaking confidence coach, because I spend time saying to people, oh my God, but I don't know if to swear on here, but it's not a big
Yeah,
swear
go
word.
for it.
Like your no bullshit cut through approach is like the best thing about you. Like
Yeah.
this needs to shine through. Like people are going to be really drawn to that. I am. I joined one person's membership because I just loved her no bullshit cut through approach. I've had other people who are highly clinical and do a lot of research and give clinical evidence for the solutions that they propose. She's like, but this is really boring, isn't it? I was like, no, there will be a group of people out there who are looking for that,
Yeah,
who
exactly.
want more evidence-based
Mhm.
solutions to the problem that they're facing. But yeah, people just, I think imposter syndrome is like a huge, I mean, I can't say I'm not free of it myself, absolutely not, but
I don't
we're
think
always
we all are.
better.
We all have it, don't we, to some
Yeah.
extent. Even when we think we've got it, there's
Yeah.
always going to be at some point, usually when we're scaling to that next level, there's that little
Yeah.
voice, isn't there? Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, all the time. I need to practice what I preach. So yeah, I've just kind of gone with what I've been presented with, and it's just evolved over time. And I've just found that's what people need the most
Yeah.
when they end up talking to me.
Yeah. And it's such a
And
huge thing, isn't it? Like you say, it
mm,
really does boost your visibility because you're speaking to, sometimes if you're collaborating with other people, you're speaking to audiences that you may never have engaged with. They may never have seen your
mm,
content online. So it's such a powerful way of not only
mm,
growing your audience and speaking in front of a whole new variety of people, but bringing leads in, bringing clients in
mm,
because they're going to connect with you. And they may never have even heard of you had you not have delivered that speaker session. So it's a really
mm.
powerful marketing
It
tool.
is massively. And if we think of what drives our decision making when we want to work with people, and if you think about it really deeply, yes, we look at the testimonials and what we're going to get and what's included in the coaching package, but the majority of it is, do I like this person?
Yeah, it's so true.
It's huge. It's
Yeah,
huge. Like I really want to work with this person because I don't know, they're great, and it's a feeling, it's an energy. I don't care what anybody says, energy is massive, so
yeah,
you've just got to make sure people feel it.
yeah, 100%. So for somebody that's listening to this that maybe is at that point in their business where they're thinking, okay, I'm pretty good at what I do. I feel confident that I can deliver results. I think the next thing for me might be boosting my visibility, doing something like speaking or obviously PR and stuff. What would be the first thing that they could do in terms of securing that first speaker opportunity? Would it be doing something for themselves or joining somebody else's audience to deliver a speaker session? Like, what would you recommend as their first step?
I think if it's the very first time that you're going to be speaking, it would be a good idea to, if you've got a membership or your own audience, to invite a small number, maybe run your own little masterclass on a topic with a group of less than 10, just to get a bit more comfortable with it, with some familiar faces that'll naturally already engage with you a little bit. Because one of the most terrifying things is when you speak to a group of people and they're just silent.
Yeah,
Because your brain is naughty. My inner shitty committee, as I call it, has got a specific name. I don't know why I call her Rita. One of my favorite people's called Rita, but I call her Rita. She'll start filling in the gaps. Oh, they're not talking. They're bored. They're not listening. They're not enjoying it. You're rubbish. So if you've got an audience that'll talk with you and you invite them to interact, Rita doesn't have a chance
yeah,
because they're feeding back and they're enjoying it and they're interacting. That's what feeds your confidence. It's so important. So if you can start with a smaller group that are already warmed up to you, that would be a great start. And then maybe a networking group, ask for 10 minutes just to talk a little bit about what you do. But again, always structure it as a conversation because it drowns out that inner shitty committee that'll be dying to fight through and tell you that you're no good and you're not worthy. So drown them out, get the real answers for yourself so they don't make them up. But yeah, just start small. Just
yeah.
start small and just focus on conversation building, not presenting and lecturing. That would be
Yeah.
my top tip.
Okay. And then for those that are perhaps that they've already done a lot of their masterclasses in their area of expertise,
Mm,
I've noticed a lot of people that are at that point of just really position themselves as an authority and being known in multiple industries is their sessions don't necessarily talk about what it is that they're known for. It's actually quite often their own personal journey or sharing a different piece of advice. So as an example, like this morning, I delivered a session on happiness and alignment and living your best life, which has, well, it does have something to do with personal brand, but it was totally unrelated to kind of a masterclass that I would usually deliver
mm,
on building your personal brand. So yeah, I guess that's then sort of the next thing that you can do in terms of getting people to know you on a different level.
mm. Yeah, get on other people's stages.
Yeah.
Or you can do what I did. I was too impatient to try and get a slot on other people's stages. So I built my own event last year and invited people to it and just built my own stage and got on it.
I love that.
And
Absolutely
invited
love
other
that.
people along. Again, it's another one of the benefits of corporate and having built a lot of sales meetings with a big team to ensure that there's a purpose to the event, there's a flow, one speaker connects to the other, and you take people through a journey through the day. You know, I created an amazing day with three other women. I've actually now gone into business. My Power Up Day has grown legs and it's now its own strategy team that's going to be touring the country, which is just mad considering this time last year I'd only just started in this business world. But yeah, you can just skip it and do your own themed
Yeah.
event, or yeah, apply to go on other people's stages. But what you talk about depends on what you want to get out of that event. Of course, if
Yeah.
you really want people flooding your DMs wanting to work with you, well, then of course you've got to structure it towards a call to action at the end and give them the next
Yeah.
steps, you know, where to connect with you and how they can work with you. Or it might just be a relationship builder and just giving back and giving some sort of instruction. At my event, in actually, I didn't have anywhere I particularly wanted to lead people. I did mission, vision, and values at the start of the day because that was the best thing for the audience
Yeah.
to build that day because I've done my business strategist qualification and it didn't lead to me getting clients. It's just that's what those people needed on that day to build the best possible day for them. So it's not always about leads, leads, leads. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's just you genuinely want people to have a really good day and to
Yeah.
achieve the purpose of
Get a lot out
your
of it. Yeah.
event. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. I love that you created your own stage. And I hope, like, somebody listening to this now that's thinking, I would love the opportunity. Perhaps now is a really good time to create your own opportunity. Like, don't wait for
Mm,
things to happen. You've got total power over just doing it. Just go and do
yeah,
it.
you don't have to wait. You don't. You could just do your own event on whatever topic you like. And again, you'll attract all the right people. If it's something that you're passionate about and you want to do a whole day for people to come and spend with you and really get into that topic, yeah, I honestly I wouldn't wait. I'd just go for it. There's nothing like an in-person day. There's just
No,
nothing
I
like
love
it.
the energy in the room is so different, isn't it? You can't get
Yeah.
that online.
No, no. I absolutely loved mine. We had such a great day, so much fun, and it has led on to other opportunities. Somebody that came over is launching a magazine next month, and me and my Power Up team are a regular contributor in that. So if you just sort of take that leap and go for it, you never know what's going to come
Yeah.
next. But yeah, it just catapulted me forward, although it was a bit of an impulse decision one Saturday morning, still in my pajamas, sat with the cat. It's, one of the best things I've ever done.
They're always the best ones. And that's something that I keep talking about a lot is you don't have to follow the launch plans and the cookie cutter strategies that other people that's work for other people. Because it's not to say they don't work, because they absolutely do, but they don't work
Mm,
for everybody. And I think the spontaneous launches
mm.
actually, like for me and obviously yourself, they work because it's when you're feeling excited, when you're most aligned, and you just want to get that thing out there because you're so excited about it. And people can feel that energy. It makes people want to
Yeah,
be around you, want
absolutely.
to sign up.
Yeah.
So
It's a
yeah.
total different energy to when you do something because you think you should.
Yes.
Like this, like you say, I was so excited about it, and I think I thought about it. It was maybe July, August time. It was the summer, and I'd had it booked, filled, and completed by the November. So, less than 12 weeks,
Yeah,
concept to delivery, bish bash bosh.
amazing. I love that. So how can people find you? I know you've got a keynote academy, haven't you? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I've gone full steam ahead now into the public speaking. So I help people with various things. I've got Keynote Academy, which is like the umbrella term, and then within that we've got the Spellbound stage. I just like magical
Oh,
references. I love it. So that's an opportunity for people starting out to come and speak on a small stage. So at the moment, I'm compiling a waiting list to see who's up for it, but we're going to spend a whole day together. In the morning, we'll craft your talk, so we'll get it ready. And in the afternoon, you'll stand up with your classmates from the day and actually deliver it. So you get to practice it that day and get feedback and,
love
you
that.
know, get a real confidence boost. So yeah, we're going to have a really good fun day together. I've got some of the bits and bobs planned for that and special guests to make it fun. You can do one-on-one coaching with me online. So there's a couple of different packages in there. You could do one-offs or the packages that I've got. So those are the main things that I've got going at the moment. But it's the in-person day, the Spellbound stage that I'm
Yeah,
most
I love
excited
that.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to
and
be
that's something
great
that
for
I
people.
definitely want to do more of. I'm doing more in-person stuff this year and
Yeah,
next year 'cause I just need that in-person connection. I love it.
yeah, same, same. I do
Yeah.
online. It's great and it makes me more accessible to people all over the UK. I'm a bit tucked away up in North Wales. I'm not really close to anybody. But if the first event, goes well and there's nothing to say I can't do them, around the UK. I'll probably do the first one in Manchester or Birmingham, they're closest to me, and then see where it takes me. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really excited about the Spellbound stage. It's going to be good fun.
it'll be like Spellbound on tour, won't it? Touring
Yes.
the UK.
Me and all my
Uh,
pumpkins.
yes, I love it. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Do go and follow Amanda. I've put her links in the show notes below so you can go and check her out. Let us know what you thought about this episode. And if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a review. I personally check all of them and reach out to anyone that does leave a review. So that would be amazing. Hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for coming on the show, Amanda.
Thanks very much. Loved it.
Yeah, guys, bye.
Bye.